Hey, Coach. Scott Churchson, Stream Punk Soccer. First home game, first home win. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit. The 2 goals tonight came on scoring opportunities that were opened up by something else. First one, Alonso's goal, came off the side of the goal. Second one came off the initial save by Galese. Talk a little bit about the follow-through. Talk a little bit about the persistence. Thanks.
I think you were there on Thursday as well. What I mentioned also is our game, especially in possession, was okay over the past 2 games until we got close to the final third or decision making in the final third. And that's what we try to focus on just a little bit more in order to be more successful. I thought the first half we didn't reward ourselves enough in that aspect. So we went ahead in the second half to get more out of that phase. And sometimes you have to get a little bit lucky, getting a shot on target, be there for the rebound, things that we train a lot because they can gain extra points once they score from a rebound. And we're very happy that it worked out today to get the first 3 points of this season.
All right, we're going to go with Adam, Alec, and then Michael.
Hey, Coach. Adam with Post 90. Congrats on the first win.
Thank you.
Just wondering what caused that pregame lineup change between Hannes and Augustine and how you think that affected the rest of the game.
It's very simple. Unfortunately, Agu was too late. So that's when he lost his spot, and Hannes came back into the team. And that's what I told my boys from day one. My approach is team first always. And he was very unfortunate, but those things happen, and then you have to deal with the consequences. And he did okay by assisting the team when he was needed to come off the bench.
Alec?
Hey, Coach. Alec Kossoff, Fibro Footy. Good to
Hi.
see you in person.
Thank you.
Congrats
Same
on the
here.
win. I wanted to ask you, Orlando seemed to have a pretty interesting press. Their pressure was pretty interesting, and their triggers seemed to be pretty interesting. As soon as it went to, like, for example, Micha, it seemed like they would press very hard, and especially when the ball would come back to Matt Freese. I was wondering if that was something that you saw, and it seemed like there were some adjustments at halftime, too. Just speak on that, sort of coming into the game, what you saw, and then how you adjusted.
Well, the things that you described, we expected that because that's part of their game plan. So they have their triggers, especially when opponents play through their fullbacks. So there were 2 situations that we were after in the build-up phases. One was use the fullbacks under pressure and make sure you recognize the situations on your own in your wide area or the 2v1 in the middle with Keaton and Johnny. And those moments were exposed in the first half a few times, but not too much. I would have liked to see that more, especially from Kevin's side. We missed a few moments going back to the middle in order to keep the ball central and maybe even choose to have a switch of play. The other thing was with Matt Freese, we spoke about the recognition of the shape of the opponent in the first phase of our build-up to make sure how they would respond in different shapes to our midfield. So you see Johnny was taking different shapes, different positions, and the same goes for Keaton. And then try to expose a 2v1 either on the side, or if the winger goes a little bit wider, expose the 2v1 in the middle with Thiago and Justin. And I think the guys did that really well today. They're growing to learn and be aware of those moments and the shape of the opponent, so they can explore the areas where we need to be. And today was an okay example.
Michael?
Hey, Coach. Michael with Pro Soccer. Yeah, I'm just 2 questions, really. The first one is just initial impressions about Yankee Stadium, first night in the baseball field. And then also, they give up the tying goal in the 69th minute, and then you score again 2 minutes later. How important is it to get that response from the team?
Very important, because it didn't look like we were going to concede. And once we did, you need to respond immediately. And what better than to respond in that way, getting a goal back to be ahead again. But it was tough for our guys, because if you go back to the previous 2 games where we conceded late goals in order to, in Miami, it cost us the win, and in LA, it cost us the game. So getting back the way we did in this game shows that we have character, and we're ready to compete until the final second of the game. And even with a man down, you see the same behavior of the team, which makes me very proud. Your other question about the Yankee Stadium, it's special to be here because it's a historic stadium, And one of my former CEOs was a player for the Yankees, so he told me many stories when we were working together. And I sent him a picture today that I'm here, and that makes it very special for me.
Halen?
Hey, Coach.
Hi.
Halen Haru with Fibro Footy. I wanted to talk a little bit about Johnny Shore. Debut, first start and man
First
of the match.
start, yeah.
And you seem to be leaning a lot on him.
Yeah.
Could you possibly talk about his development and how you've been using him?
Well, Johnny is a very interesting character. Obviously, I met him for the first time when I started the project here. And he was one of the youngsters who was in the roster going with us during the preseason camp. And let me make one thing really, really clear. The fact that he had a sub on against Miami and a starting position today is something that he earned by competing with the guys during the training sessions. And I think he's a very clever kid, very clever on the ball. He sees a lot of situations. He's aware of his surroundings in midfield, skillful in short passes and making sure that he has a good rhythm and control in the middle of the pitch. And those are a few aspects that I'm after in the way I want to play with my team. So seeing him play today as if he was one of the guys for the past 4 seasons was a good thing to see. But there's a lot still to improve, not only for Johnny, but for the rest of the team as well.
Justin?
Hey, Coach. Justin Egan, the outfield. Can you talk a little bit about how you deployed Keaton and Johnny in the double pivot tonight? They seem to work real good in tandem together.
Yeah, as I told your colleague just now, that's not something that we just started practicing last week. We've been at it for the last month and a half or so in order to be aware of each other, making sure that you're in contact with each other so we can keep Maxi just a little bit higher up on the pitch. And this combination, or this triangle, if you will, has played together during preseason quite often in training sessions, obviously, but also in the games that we played in preseason. And today was the first time that they got the start from, or got to play together from the start. So I was very happy and very pleased with what I've seen tonight. And playing together as much as they can will improve them even more.
Hi.
Andrew?
Hi. Andrew Lee from Hudson River Blue. I wanted to ask about Hannes Wolf. He was obviously not going to start, as you mentioned. Came in, started on the left, scored the game-winning goal, hadn't scored since last July. How does that kind of goal help him? How do you view how he's sort of progressed now into this game scoring? And do you think this will be sort of a jumping off point for him?
I hope so. I really hope so, because Hannes has several qualities. He showed this during game 1 and number 2 in Miami and Los Angeles. He's very reliable, especially when we're not in possession. But I'm looking for more, and him scoring a goal tonight might help him just a little bit more. But the offensive side, you could see that also in tonight's game. He's trying to find that control in certain areas so we can come and support him as a team and make sure we get bodies up front in order to go for good attacks. And he's trying, but having this goal tonight hopefully will help him get to the next stage.
Final one, we'll go to the Zoom. Alex?
Good evening, Pascal. This is Alex Winley from AM New York. Congrats on the 3 points.
Thank you.
Maxi Morales, he played a full 90 minutes tonight and played really well. What did you see from him tonight, and just how important is his presence for this team? Thank you.
Maxi played a good game tonight. He had a good connection with the 2 other midfield players, was aware of the areas where he should be playing and expose the weaknesses of the opponent. Given the fact that he was sick today, makes it extra special for him. But I agree, he played a good match, and hopefully he can continue like this, because like I told you guys from game number 1 and 2, we're trying to keep Maxi 100% every week, because he's a very important player for the team, but also aging just a little bit, which makes him extra special, and we have to take care of him.
Great. Thank you, everybody.